Hi everyone, it's great to see you. So I had a surprise on my doorstep when I got home today. I ordered 3 quart-size plants from Garden Crossings, and quart-size plants I thought were pretty small, and there is a giant box here. Now, I happen to know that the items are vines, so I'm thinking maybe they're tall. I don't know, but this should be interesting. Pickle's over here checking it out. It's a pretty heavy box too, wow. Now I've ordered from Garden Crossing before. They do a great job shipping. Yep, so look at this. 3 of these boxes in here. That goes with what I thought. Oh my goodness, okay. Gotta get this out very carefully. Boy, they really pack these well. Let's see, I'm gonna lift this part out first. See how we do. I do love it when things come boxed well so that we don't have to worry about shipping. Here, would you like a piece of paper, Pickle? No, Pickle wants to sniff the plants. Oh, we got some dirt. That's okay. So here is our first plant, and there's actually 2 of these. This is Rose Sensation, and Rose Sensation is a false type of climbing hydrangea. So I'm going to show you my actual climbing hydrangea outside. This one looks very similar to that, and it has the same growth habitat in that it will get 50 feet tall and climb up. Oh yes, Pickle gets to play in the dirt, just what a white cat loves to do. He's gonna be all dirty. And this is going to get 40 to 50 feet tall, growing up a trellis, a tree. I'm gonna train both of these up a tree, but there's a reason I chose this particular type as the false vining type of hydrangea, and that's because your real vining hydrangea only come in white. They are beautiful. You'll see that they have a center budded part and the actual little florets go around the outside. This looks very similar in that, but instead of having full little flowers along the outside, these look like single petals. However, they come in pink. So same growth habitat in that it puts out these little roots that cling on to whatever's there, but I'm going to get that pink color that I like so much. So one of these is our other one, just like that. Let's see. Oh, actually, maybe, did I get 2? Yes, I did order 2. Look at that. Okay. Oh, we're going to make the floor messy again. Here we go. Don't open these on your carpet. Here, oh look though, they did such a beautiful job packing these up. I mean, these really could be a gift to somebody, the way they arrived so beautifully. So 2 of our beautiful schizophragma is the actual name of these, and yeah, I will probably just be calling mine Rose Sensation, but they are going to be gorgeous out climbing the trees. Then we have a 3rd box here. Oh my goodness. Also a climber. This is the first time that I have ordered proven winter climbers like this. So it's really interesting to see how they come. And these look much bigger than a quart size, I have to say, which I'm not complaining with. They're beautiful. This is a Clematis, and this particular Clematis here is Sweet Summer Love. Now, more commonly we see a white type of Clematis, the Sweet Autumn Clematis, and that has a smaller flower on it. It blooms in the autumn, hence Sweet Autumn Clematis, and it's very, very prolific. This is supposed to follow that, not be quite as vigorous, but we get the small, this time purple flowers, which is fabulous, and is going to get to be 10 to 15 feet tall. It grows and blooms on new and old growth, so you can cut it down to about 2 feet tall each year, and I am really excited to add this to the Clematis that I have. Right now, the ones that I am primarily growing are your real big Clematis, which tend to bloom early in the season, and this one is going to be more of a July July to August bloomer. Just like the sweet autumn clematis, this particular clematis, sweet summer love, is supposed to be known for its fragrance. And one thing I love at my mom's house is when she has her sweet autumn clematis in bloom, you walk in and it just like, the whole area smells like that clematis. It is beautiful, and I would love to capture some of that in the garden myself. So I'm going to do a little cleaning up here and then go get these planted. I'm outside now in front of our shed, and I'm going to be planting the Sweet Summer Love Clematis. Now, this particular obelisk we put in last year. At the bottom, I have a very, very tiny clematis over here that has come back. I'm hoping that it does well, and truthfully, I didn't label it, so I'll have to look up and see what it is. I believe it's one of those big spring blooming clematis. And then I have a double down hydrangea that I didn't know what to do with last year, and I just put it here in the middle, and it came back really nicely, so I think I'm going to leave it. I do have fencing put around this because rabbits like to nibble on the clematis, but I'm going to add this one in probably around here and let it grow up also. So I have my biotone. I picked up a bag the other day, and usually you add that biotone right wherever you're going to be adding a new plant to your garden. I'm just going to brush away the mulch that's been put on here, and we should be all set. So lovely to plant in a new garden without any roots or anything here. With the biotone, usually I just do like a handful of this in the bottom. Some people even sprinkle it on the top, so it doesn't matter if you're putting it in the hole or if you forget and put it on top. That will work out just fine too. Doesn't this just look beautiful? Here it is, it's early spring, and when you order something like this, like I did from Garden Crossings, you know, it comes, of course, having been in their greenhouse. So it's further along than a lot of my other plants, and it just is such a happy thing to add in. We've had some cold weather, but your clematis now are really doing quite well. And as long as you're not going down into like the 20s, you are probably going to be just fine. Let's see if I can get this out of the bag that's protecting it. I did not cover anything last night, even though we had a frost warning, and fortunately it really didn't quite get down to freeze, so that was good. There's only so much you can do. You do the best job you can in your garden, but sometimes weather, oh, it takes over. Look at this. Doesn't that look great, just to add that big clump of beautiful green leaves and everything looks fresh and happy? I love it. Now I have my drip irrigation here. So the drip irrigation is going to go right by this clematis. That is great. I'm going to add the stake back in until I can make one of my own little name tags. And then I'm going to close it in because my bunnies will think that I planted a new clematis just for them. I haven't seen too many rabbits yet, but I know from experience that they will be out and about and looking for a tasty little nibble. Okay, we're gonna have a problem. It's not going to quite fit around. So I'm gonna order another. This is a great thing about these. You can add on more pieces to make a larger container, and I'm gonna have to do that to seal it up. Okay, Dan, you're there. Remind me when I get in, go on Amazon and order that so nobody thinks that my sweet summer clematis here, sweet summer love, is their snack. But this looks great. Okay, let's go and finish up planting then our false hydrangea vines. So I'm over on the little used side of our house, so I'm going to try to spruce up a bit this year. And I have two really big river birches here. This is one of the river birches that I want my false hydrangea vine, the rose sensation, to grow up. So Now it's tricky when you try to do this because obviously they have a lot of roots coming out. You can plant them a little bit away from your tree and then just sort of train it over. Once it latches onto your tree, you are good. It will just take off. So I am going to do that right here, take it back a little bit, start planting it. Now you can tell I have a few things that have come up that I put in last fall, a couple heuchera, some astilbe, some Japanese painted fern. We have a ways to go over here, but that is okay. Every little bit helps, and it's nice to have a part of your garden that you're working on. And this is definitely going to be my work in progress this year. So you'll probably see me over here a lot. I find that it takes usually 2 to 3 years to really get a new spot like this looking like you want to show it off to people, but I'm going to let you over here anyway, even though I'm not really ready to show it off yet. Now, the hydrangea vine, or the false hydrangea vine that I am planting now, they often say that they really start rather slow, biotone, as they get situated. So I don't expect it to do much either this year or next year. Usually it takes 3 years for a hydrangea vine to actually settle in enough to start giving you some growth so that you go, oh yes, this was the right thing to plant here. This is a good thing. So as long as I can keep it alive the next couple years, that's going to be the most important thing. So let me just see if I can get this untied. Dan, do you happen to have scissors on you? That's okay. We're gonna see if we can use the blade. Nope, that's not a good idea. I'll be back. Okay, back with my trusty scissors here. Always keep a pair of scissors at hand if you can. I see a lot of people online with those great utility belts that they use for gardening. And one of these days I might have to get myself something like that so I'm not always running back to our shed. Oh, look at how nice this looks. Now I did look at my order. I didn't order quart size pots for this. I ordered their 8-inch grande or large pots. And yeah, these are large pots. Really, really nice. I have to say, totally worth it when you're ordering from proven winners. I didn't know what I was getting. I think I've only ordered quart pots before, but this is a great size to start with. So 3 years still probably until it, takes off here, but it has a really good start. Okay, we're just gonna put that in, and I will make sure that it heads over to the tree. This is going to be wonderful. Let me show you my real hydrangea vine, keeping in mind this is the false hydrangea vine, schizophragma, but the real hydrangea vine is in the backyard here, and it looks very similar. These are going to have blossoms, though, that end up pink. So here I am back by my real hydrangea vine. So you might be asking yourself, oh my goodness, false hydrangea vine, real hydrangea vine. They're very, very similar. You're looking at 2 different species, so they have different Latin names, and their flowers are shaped slightly different. But their growing habit and really the purpose that you're going to plant one of these in your garden are exactly the same thing. So you are fine getting either one. They're going to get that 40 to 50 feet tall, that 7 feet wide, 4 to 7 feet wide. Here is a big, massive one that the people a long time ago planted next to a little picket fence. Not what I would really expect to plant it by, but it's working. We have some really thick trunks here. I mean, it becomes this massive vine, and it is beautiful. It provides you flowers. It provides you some winter interest. Once the leaves fall out, you have all this curling vininess on whatever it is it grew up. It provides you fall interest when it turns a beautiful yellow and drops its leaves. So it's just a great vine to have. Whether you go with the false hydrangea or the real hydrangea, you are going to enjoy it, I assure you. So right now, this one has all these little broccoli-like buds here, and they are just
Oh, they're reminding me of how excited I get when I see this. Now this hydrangea vine, the real hydrangea vine, does tend to bloom on the early side. The other one that I planted has a slightly later bloom time of July, August. We'll see if that's really true or not as it gets older. But I highly recommend these vines to you. They are just fascinating. And when you see one that is growing up a tree, and you know it doesn't hurt the tree at all, it just is making that trunk so interesting, you go, oh yeah, that's something that you need in your garden. So I have one more false hydrangea vine that I'm going to be planting out front. That's that really rooty area though. I'm gonna have some help when I plant that, and I will be keeping you posted on how all of these beautiful hydrangea vines do. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.